Welcome to the Luton Ladies Lowdown. I'm your host Matt, and I'm joined by a special guest this week, former club captain, last season's top goal scorer, and Luton Ladies player for 15 years, Jess McKay. Welcome to the Luton Ladies pod. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a nice surprise for the week. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, always happy to have anyone on, especially someone that's been at the club for so long, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, a couple of years.
Okay, so let's take a look at the last game against Needham Market FC and any other news from the ladies team. Okay, football. So, on to the game on Sunday. The Luton Ladies played away against Needham Market FC Women up in Norfolk, and they got a dominating 5-0 win. Now, you got a hat-trick in that game. Can you tell us a bit more about the game, how it played out from your eyes?
Yeah, I think to be honest, the girls played really, really well. We showed some true I'd say class, like in some of the football that we played. Obviously, it's a massively talented bunch of group of girls, and I have to be fair to the management. It can't be easy picking a squad of 16, every week. So it doesn't really matter who's there. They're going to perform. But on Sunday, something really clicked, and everyone was really enjoying it. And yeah, we did a really, really good job. 5-star, I think, is what Instagram said.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, it was a bit of a return to form because obviously last season you won 5-0 and you also
Yeah,
won 5-1 against them, which was
yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
So we also got goals from Chesca Partridge.
Mhm.
I believe you had a part in that.
Yeah, I think the ball got delivered over by Tash. I took a touch, and Chesco, with a striker's instinct, just took a swipe at it because I say a swipe. Actually, mine was probably going to be more of a swipe. Hers was definitely like a very well taken shot. There was a defender kind of in front of me, so looking back now at the footage, definitely was the right decision. And that is Chesco, really, like her striker instinct of just getting on the end of anything and putting it away, however means possible, really.
And also, as you mentioned before as well, Tash Fensom, she also got on the scoring card. It's not her first goal of the
No.
season as well.
No, no, it won't be. It won't be our first, and it certainly won't be our last. Absolute class player. Incredible vision. In every aspect. Assists and goals as well. A massive signing for us, and I think I'd like to say that I was part of the assist for her goal, but to be fair, she did so much afterwards. I don't think I can take the assist for that one. That is fully all her. She did that all by herself. So yeah.
Definitely. And obviously, both Cheska and Tash are signings from Real Bedford last year.
Yeah.
So obviously, you had a bit of an experience playing against them last
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, I think the pairing of they work so well together. It's great that we've now got them after them having a season together, kind of thing as well. So we're really capitalizing on that. I think personally, I think they work well on and off the pitch. They're hilarious together off the pitch, and I think that shows when they're on the pitch. They know where each other are. They've just got that connection. I think that the only other probably people I can compare it to is like Ellie and Tan at the back, just kind of know where each other are, and that works wonders, really.
Yeah, definitely. And also, we've got to talk about Royston. They've unfortunately kept up the wins with 5 from 5. I don't believe you were part of the team that played them, but do you think they are going to keep this up for long?
Um, to be fair to them, they're a good side. They've always been a good side, and it is difficult to go there and play against Royston. Um, as a Luton player, obviously, I hope they don't. But there is no reason really at the moment the foreman in that they will slip points. So it just spurs us on to get every single point we can. Trying to take 3 points from every game. We know this league is really close. It always has been. It's always been. The top sort of 4 or 5 teams have always been kind of in and around the same. It's always been really close. We've missed out by like 2 points, and things like that. So, yeah, I think really what we need to focus on is ourselves, not really worrying about what they do. Their focus is obviously to get as many points as they can as well. So we just need to focus, score as many goals as we can, and in true Luton Town ladies fashion, not concede many either.
Definitely. Obviously, last season you were the top scorer at Luton Ladies with 26 goals, which is
Yep.
incredibly impressive.
Thank you.
Um, we've also got, obviously, Tash Fensom and Chesca Partridge, which are very high caliber players coming
Yeah.
from Route Bedford. Very high scoring there. So
Yeah.
hopefully by all of the powers combined, it will be a very, very high scoring season.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? They're strikers, that's what they do, and I'm happy for one of them to win Golden Boot. You know, it's not the whole reason that I'm there. It's been great. I think I've got it 2 years on the bounce now, so it's probably time to give it to somebody else. Let somebody else take that. You know, and as I've got older, I've genuinely loved watching players win trophies and things like that. So yeah, more than happy for Tash or Chess to take that over from Megan, and you know, I think they'll do that quite well.
Definitely. And obviously, as you say, you've been with the Luton Ladies for a while.
Yeah,
I do think it's 15 years, potentially
yeah,
more. Can
it
you
is.
just tell
Yeah,
us a bit about that?
yeah. So I started at 15. Um, I was in the under 15s, under 16s, and then when I was 16, came into the first team. And it was not an easy ride, let me tell you. There was a lot of time on the bench, but I think something inside me just thought, no, do you know what? I will get in that first team. That I will be a starting player, and I will get minutes in that first team. And I think just drive and passion that I have generally got me in that team. And then not so long later, captaincy.
Sure.
So yeah, it's been a fantastic time, to be fair. Yeah.
And obviously, you've been a big part of it. As you say, you were the captain, which does bring me on to, obviously, very recently there was I imagine, incredibly difficult decision
Yeah.
from yourself to actually leave the Luton Ladies. I don't think that did work out, and obviously you're back here, and
Hmm.
we love having you back at the
Yeah.
Luton Ladies. But can you just tell us a bit more about how that all came about and
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah. So recently, well, I say recently, probably about 5 months ago or so, I started a new job, and that takes me nationally. So there's a lot of traveling involved. So half the time I'm down south, and half the time I can be in the north. So I took a very, very difficult decision. Lots of tears, which I'm not embarrassed to say, because you know Luton was my home, and the girls, you know, some of them are like, you know, I've known for ages, and you know they're part of football for me. It would be weird if they wasn't there. You know, I consider them all really close friends and family. So it was so tough, and the same with management as well. And yeah, I went to Northampton, as they play in a more northern league. It's like the Midlands League. And the idea was that no matter where I was, it was going to be easier. But I think sometimes, and it's absolutely no disrespect to them, they're great. You know, they've got a fantastic setup, and I'm sure they're going to do fantastic this season. But there's some things that just don't feel right, I think. And spending 15 years somewhere, going, you know, and I really did try to make it work, but sometimes home is home, and yeah, you should be where you feel the most comfortable, and that was at Luton. And you know, we played last week. Well, we started the game last week, and obviously it was abandoned due to the weather. And then obviously this week, and I feel that this week was, I don't know, it kind of cemented to me, scoring a hat trick is always
Mhm.
amazing, but scoring a hat trick for Luton is even better. And I think that really cemented, actually, yeah, Jess, it was a good decision to come back. You've made the right one, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I really enjoy. Almost a new lease of life since I've come back. You know, you're kind of looking at everything a little bit different because you saw what it was like somewhere else, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
the
yeah.
grass isn't always greener, I think is what they
No,
say.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
can I also ask, how is it now coming back? It must be so different how your personal game has changed, because obviously you're no longer the captain as well.
Yeah,
That's now with
yeah,
Ellie.
yeah.
How's that all changed for you?
Yeah, I mean, part of me coming back, you know, as it was a discussion that me and management had, and you know, I didn't want captaincy back. You know, that had already been given to Ellie, who was more than deserving of it, and she's honestly does an amazing job, not just as a captain either, you know, with everything else that she turns her hand to within the club. And being, you know, one of my best friends outside of football, I'm more than happy to help her at all times, give her, you know, that kind of helping hand if she ever needs it, ever wants to run anything by me. But to be honest, I've really enjoyed coming back as just a footballer. You know, I knew there was going to be a bit of a fuss, if you like, me coming back. You know, it was a bit, you know, what's happened. And I didn't want too much to cloud how I felt going into, you know, the first game and stuff. And I think not having the captain armband has relieved a little bit, as I'm sure, you know, lots of other players would have experienced if they've been a captain and, you know, kind of stepped away from it. But it's really made me feel a little bit more at ease when I'm on the pitch. And everything I do now is a bit more natural. I think I'm always a natural leader. So I'll always support the girls and help them and, you know, lead it by example. But I don't know. I have a funny feeling that this season might be a good one for me. Just not having that perhaps added pressure that I never really noticed that I had until, you know, now, I guess. So although I loved being captain and it was amazing and I will hold them memories forever, you know, it's again the same with the goals. Time to hand that baton over, and you know, Ellie's brilliant. There's loads of girls that could have been handed to, but you know, Ellie is incredible and she does such an amazing job. So yeah, fully deserved. And I think she has noticed what goes into being a captain, perhaps, but half of it she did anyway. So I think she's going to be absolutely fine. But yeah, no, I'm really glad to be back as just a player and just doing my thing. And you know, like I mentioned, scoring 3 goals on the weekend, I think I just felt a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more at ease, and all I had to do was play my game. And yes, brilliant, really. Yeah, really enjoying it.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. I do believe, I can't remember if it was on the podcast or it was when we were just chatting to Ellie, but she did say that you'll always be her captain. So
I know, yeah. A lot of the a lot of the girls have said that, and you know, that's lovely that I've still, you know, kind of got that respect. I was a little bit nervous to see how the girls would take me coming back. You know, there's a lot of new signings, some of which don't know me, perhaps don't know who I was to in Luton, etc. So yeah, no, when Ellie said that, it's really heartwarming, and I'll always be there, like I said, to support her and everybody else. And if anybody needs anything, I'm always going to be there. It's almost that, you know, Ellie wears the armband on the weekend, and I almost feel like I want to be there for her more as well, because I've been there and done that and kind of know what happens. So yeah, you know, it's just one of them things.
And,
It's good.
and another thing we should probably mention,
Yeah.
the player of the match for the last game was
Yeah.
Shai Suarez. Can you talk
Yeah.
about her briefly?
I don't know how to sum her up. She is just incredible. You know, taking the captain armband. If you know Shy, she's quite quiet. But she really stepped up on the weekend. You know, I messaged her privately, and you kind of, I see so many different things happening now that I'm not captain. You know, I'm kind of right at the back and just watching what goes on. And honestly, she really led that team so well, and her football. I mean, if you haven't watched her, you're missing out. You know, she is incredible. The way the ball sticks to her, I'm pretty sure she's got magnets in her boot. It is, I don't understand how she does it. I will never be like that. I've got a very specific footballing talent, which is run as fast as I can and just be strong as I can. She's technical in the best way, and somehow doesn't matter what challenge you put her in, she will come out with the ball. Like, my money will always be on her. But yeah, I'd probably sing everyone's praises, to be fair. I just love the group, but Shy fully deserved that on the weekend. And you know, she's probably one of the players that is up there for, you know, a contender for player of the match every week. So consistent. And yeah, just topped off with a really good captain's performance. So I think it really put a smile on her face. She is shy. But yeah, it doesn't go out of her way to shout at people, but I think that's why people respect her. And yeah, she did such a brilliant job of that.
Awesome. And then last bit of general Luton stuff.
Yeah.
How's the FA Cup prep going?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last year we had an incredible run. So I don't want to say we've set our hopes too high. I think they're very realistic where we want to be and where we want to go. I think we've got everybody that can do that. I think we're just really excited. Last time it was so exciting. The first few games, there was a couple of games where we were a bit probably more nervous because they were against tougher teams, and then it took us to the Brighton game where, in all honesty, we just enjoyed it. It was just a brilliant day, and even if we can get a glimmer of that this time, I think that will be brilliant. We've got some really good footballers, and actually it's really nice to show those players off to a wider kind of audience. Gabs is getting some really, really good kind of acknowledgement from everywhere, and I think it's done wonders for her. Great player, young. I wish I was that fast, actually, to be fair. But yeah, like, I think we're just really excited for it. We really are. We saw what we could do last year, and we don't think that we can do any less this year, so fingers crossed we can, yeah, go that far, if not further. Who
If
knows?
it helps, Miles said last week that he wants to win all 4 cups. So there we go. We'll see how that goes.
I Is he making a cup up? I don't know, but I like that he's so he is so
Yeah,
confident in us and really pushes us. He genuinely thinks that we can do, we can do all of it, and I think that's the general consensus we've all brought into that this season, that at minimum we want to take 3 trophies home. If we end up taking the 4th one, which is the FA Cup, I will probably hang my boots up there and then. Someone can have them. I'm going home. I've done everything. But yeah, no, yeah, I think it's brilliant that Miles says things like that, because I think it puts a lot of confidence in us girls. Yeah.
definitely. Okay, so now moving on, a bit more personal questions here. Do you have
Okay.
any pre-match rituals? Are you superstitious at all?
Not really. I find that sometimes I think I get nervous that if one of them things doesn't happen, then that's it over. So I've really almost, maybe that is a superstition, that I've always tried to not have one.
Okay.
So there's
Okay.
some things that I like doing, there is some things that I like, but generally I like good music before, something that really gets me going, good vibes in the change rooms. But there isn't something specific, that I don't like to do that. I don't, just in case for whatever reason I can't do it, and then it stresses me out.
And that obviously leads a bit into the next one. Do you have any specific song or playlist that gets you hyped for the game?
Yeah, so we've got a playlist,
Okay.
Luton Down Ladies, where all the girls kind of throw their music in,
Sure.
which is great. And to be honest, anything that's kind of upbeat, kind of something you can like just be silly too. I think for me, I can get quite nervous before games, so the likes of Andy and players like that really help me by just being silly with me, that can kind of take my mind off of the game that's about to happen. Not so much that I'm not focused, but just those nervous energies that I sometimes get. I think, yeah, players like Andy and Tarn just messing around and laughing and joking and singing our little hearts out really helps me. So anything kind of upbeat, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then 5 really quick fire questions for
Oh
you.
gosh. Okay.
So gin or wine?
Wine.
Okay. Beach holiday or city break?
Beach holiday.
Hot or cold weather?
Hot.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Oh, I don't play them.
Okay.
PlayStation. I would say
Okay.
PlayStation
Fine.
is what I had.
And then an absolute blinder of a goal or scoring a penalty?
Blinder of a goal, I think.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. Well, there
I
we
don't
go.
know. I might change that.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, blinder of a goal.
Cool. Okay, so Luton are now second in the league,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
The next league fixture is on the 29th of September. That's against Dussendale and Hellersden Rovers FC Women, and that's
Yep.
2 o'clock away at the Nest, which is up in Norwich. They were promoted this season and have one of their one game out of their 4.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts ahead of that game?
Do you know what? Obviously, given their stats, they they're just getting into this league at the moment, just finding their feet. There's a reason that they were promoted into the league. They must have played well to get where they are. So I really don't think we should take them any less serious than we do with the likes of Royston and Stevenage. Like I said, it's a very close league. Anything can happen. I'm sure them girls work hard, but I know that we can work harder. It's something ingrained in the players at Luton that can just dig a little bit deeper at times. We've proved that a lot. And so if we need to, we can. But we're going to go in there really confidently. I think after the win on the weekend, that's really set confidence really, really high. And I think that was all over the pitch, not just from the goal scorers. So I think we'll go into the game really, really confident, but we shouldn't take them any less serious than, the other teams in the league.
For sure. And then obviously the next actual fixture is the FA Cup fixture. That is next week. I say next week, it's on Sunday coming. Against Chigwell Ladies. That's at the Chigwell Ground in Essex. You can get there on the Northern Line if you want to go by train. That's on Sunday, 2:00. So I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jess.
Thank you for having me. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Just really quickly, a quick shout out to our sponsors. Big thank you to Black Star and Carry On for making us sound great, and a shout out to the pod sponsor, the Record Shop in Amersham. They've got vinyls, CDs, guitars, and more. And if you mention the OK Football Show and you're nice, you may get a discount. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, and come on, you Hatters.